The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Well, hey everybody, my name is David Bush, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight on this special Men's Health and Father's Day Trilogy webinar. This is a special webinar that we're going to host to really celebrate the men that are out there getting healthier and helping other men to get healthier. And it's okay if you're a woman, you can stick around, you can watch this webinar too, because maybe there's a man in your life or maybe a boy who's struggling with their health that you could begin to share some of the stories that you're going to hear tonight. This is Men's Health Month. The month of June is the month in the calendar year that Congress has chosen to celebrate and bring attention to men's health issues. And most of you probably know somebody that has struggled or maybe passed from things like lifestyle-related diseases such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and many others. And what we're going to talk about tonight is really how men can take back control of their health and learn how to create healthy habits, one healthy habit at a time. And if you are a guy out there, or if you know a guy that has said that they love food and that there's no way that they want to exercise, just know that we know where they were at. We know exactly how they feel. Many of us have felt the exact same way. But what we found is that we loved other things more than we loved food. We found that we loved our kids and our friendships and our careers and just living an active life better than we loved food or the taste of food. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the stories and strategies that men have taken to create health and well-being in their life, and how they begin to pay it forward to other men to be able to create a ripple effect that has begun to cast a shadow beyond the grave when that time comes and they pass on from this earth. My personal story is I graduated high school 327 pounds. I was a football player. I came from a family of football players, and I was someone that was fed quite often, and it was celebrated for quite a few years when I was playing football. I went on to play a thing called offensive center, where I hiked the ball, and I did really well at that sport. I actually became an All-American at the University of South Dakota, and I went on to play professional football for 4 years. And then the game changed. I got out of playing football, and I went into living an everyday, ordinary life. I got into a very successful career. I began to put a lot of effort into career, and I began to put a lot of effort into raising 3 small kids and being married. And it just seemed like everything revolved around food. And as you can imagine, when you're being trained all the way through your life to eat more and get bigger, faster, stronger, changing those habits didn't come easy. And when you don't have a coach, when you don't have a game plan, when you don't have the recognition or the reward of winning a game, or you don't have the spirit of competition and the accountability of a team, you know, the motivation changes to work out and to do some of the things that maybe you have done in a previous life in terms of sports or something of that nature. So I was in a tough spot 10 years ago, and I came across a friend of mine, another guy who had lost 50 pounds, and he had seen some great success with the help of this health coaching program called OPTAVIA. And some of you may be familiar with OPTAVIA, some of you may just be seeing it for the very first time, but as you can see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, the OPTAVIA logo stands for the optimal way of living. What OPTAVIA is all about is helping individuals to create lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And in our logo, you can see that there's 24 different radiants, and they get fuller as they go around the clock. It stands for the 24 hours in a day. And what OPTAVIA is about teaching people how to incorporate healthy habits one at a time into their busy life so that they can create a bigger life. Not necessarily a bigger body, but oftentimes a bigger life is what comes when you start to incorporate healthy habits. As I went on to go on my program, I ended up losing 100 pounds. And my story is not the same as every man or woman out there, but my story was quite transformational. And as you can imagine, people started noticing. One of the people that noticed was my own dad. You can see his picture here on the right. My dad at the time was 67 years of age. This was 8 years ago. He had seen me transform my physical health, and he had seen my enthusiasm and my spirit come back to my life. And he had seen me at a place that he had never seen me as an adult, because I was overweight and unhealthy nearly my entire life. And so when my dad, who was 47 pounds overweight, type 2 diabetic, and a former Vietnam War vet who gave up drinking and gave up smoking, and admittedly we end up. Whoops, got to make sure we get muted there. But my dad ended up basically saying, Dave, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with my health. And my dad was somebody I really wanted to help. And so, with the opportunity of OPTAVIA, I was able to go through a health coach training program, and I was able to assist my dad to create health in his life. My dad ended up losing 47 pounds, and he's had a significant decrease in his diabetes medication, which isn't the case for every client on our program. We don't cure disease, but what happens is that the body has the inherent ability to heal itself when you're fueling it with healthy foods and you're practicing healthy habits. And my dad, at the age of 67, transformed his physical health. And when I saw what I could do, and when I saw what my dad could do, I began to see other men in my life that needed help as well, as women as well. Friends and family members started to ask about what I was doing, and I simply invited them to come do what I had done. And so, today we celebrate men, but it's really the entire country that needs our help. 71% of Americans are overweight and obese. Less than 5% of Americans say that they have health and well-being in all aspects of their life. OPTAVIA's story is a 40-year rich medical heritage, and their credibility is long-lasting, as well as the science behind the behavioral change coaching that it provides. The mission of OPTAVIA is simple: get America healthy, and then the world. And then you're a part of that, because you're in this country or you're a part of this world. And what we want to do is we want to show you some simple steps in how we go about helping people to create lifelong transformation. And primarily for those men that are watching this, whether you're watching a recording or whether you're watching this live, we want you to begin to dream again. We want you to begin to think about what your bigger life looks like. What if you were at the top of your game? What if you were at the top of the mountain of optimal health, where you had healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances? What would that mean to your life? How would your life begin to change? And we're confident that we can help you to get there, because our program is based on science. Our program is based on principles. And if you apply the science and the principles and the stepping stones that we provide to you, you can go from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. And I want to ask you a real honest question right now. I got a little evaluation up on the screen, and I'd like to ask you to evaluate yourself in 3 different categories. You don't have to report your answer out loud, but if you're watching this right now, I'd like for you to just take a look at these 3 different areas called physical, mental, and financial health. If you were asked to give yourself a grade on a scale of 10 to 60 in each one of those categories, how would you grade yourself? If you were like me, you did not like this evaluation, because this was like getting on the proverbial life scale. And right now, you may not like the looks of your numbers. Some of you may be doing okay, but some of you may be really struggling. And that's not judgment on you. It's not your fault. Some of you have been put in circumstances or social environments that are too challenging to overcome without any kind of support or structure or simple game plan. But if we can take where you're at, and you can take an honest assessment and say, this is where I'm at in my overall health and well-being, we believe that we can help give you a plan, and we can help you to create a desired outcome that is specific, that's doable, that's achievable, and it's something that is relevant to each and every one of us as Americans. So for you personally, if you would like to get a copy of this comprehensive well-being evaluation, contact the person that invited you. We have these well-being evaluations. It's actually a 2-page document that goes into more depth, but I encourage you to take the time to look at where you're at today. As Zig Ziglar says, that a person that doesn't know where they've been and doesn't know where they're at can surely not have any idea where they're going. So if you really want to know where you want to go, you really have to take a moment and just reflect on where you're at. And it's okay to be at a place that's bad or poor or failing. because I wasn't doing very good in all three categories in my life. And I was considered to be a successful person. Had a nice house on a golf course, had 3 beautiful children, beautiful wife, had nice cars, and all the things that went according to the American lifestyle. But at the end of the day, I was struggling and juggling. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, but I didn't tell anybody about it. And most men don't want to tell other people about it. And maybe you're at that point where you just don't have somebody that you can confide in and you can share some of the struggles that you're dealing with so that they can help encourage you to embrace the barrier, or what we call embracing the obstacle as the way, and take yourself and move yourself forward. Reasonable progress over a measurable period of time is all we ask. And we will help you to take those steps by using the 4 components of our program. And we're going to walk through those tonight to give you some simple stepping stones should you choose to partner with us. Our program includes a personal coach. So every person that starts with us has a coach. I think most guys have an idea of what it's like to have a coach, but in our world, the coach is not some person that's yelling and screaming at you or, telling you what to do. The coach is there to ask you what you want to do. And then they're there to help you to get the answers that you need to do what it is that you want to do, not to tell you how to live your life. So I know guys are macho. I didn't really want to be told what to do in my life, but my coach asked me some really good questions that I wasn't asking of myself. One of them was asking myself where I was in all 3 areas of the well-being evaluation, and then asking me some questions like, Dave, what do you really want to do? What's your desired outcome? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And that got me excited to think about dreaming again. Because when you're unhealthy and when you're struggling through life and juggling through the medications and you're juggling through the healthcare system, it's hard to dream again. When you're financially busted and disgusted, it's hard to think about what your life could be or should be. And when you're out there making promises to people that you can't keep, like your friends and your family members, and you're falling short on promises, it's kind of hard to think about what's possible. But with the help of a coach who can believe it for you, you can begin to believe it for yourself over time. You don't have to believe in yourself right now to get started. You just simply have to trust this process and the system, and partner up with a coach who can guide you on a medically credible, proven system. Our proven system is the Habits of Health program. It was written by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, the 10th physician board certified in critical care, who actually created a system that was based upon science and principles to teach people how to live a healthy lifestyle. And he did that after 2 decades of critical care service to our country, working in a Grandview Hospital in Dayton, Ohio. He was saving people as they're coming over the waterfall of bad health. He was in the healthcare system, and he decided to turn that all around and move upstream. He wanted to teach people to climb the mountain of optimal health, and that's exactly what he did. What we also include is a community. I think most guys need to have a group of people around them that they can use as a support system. So we provide a virtual support system, and we also provide a virtual clinic with access to nutritionists and dietitians, as well as the doctors and nurses to help you to deal with medications or dietary preferences and things of that nature. And then we have a simple meal plan and fueling system that helps you to really get a simple game plan. I think most guys want to have a simple game plan. They don't want to count a bunch of points and calories and carbs. They don't want to do a bunch of meal planning and prepping and purchasing and doing all the portion sizing that comes with getting healthier. So we give people a simple game plan they can roll with. But the health coach is really the strategy that we want to support people with from the very beginning, because the OPTAVIA coach that provides you with guidance is somebody that's going to give you the one-on-one encouragement, give you the structure that's going to help you to stay accountable to the things that you say you're going to do. And again, this process was transformational for me. And everybody is a little different when it comes to coaching, but what we found is that the coaching is based upon steps. Dr. A's Habits of Health systems will give you the steps to help you to reclaim your health again, regardless if you're struggling with, heart disease or, other types of, diabetes or other types of high blood pressure. Regardless of where you're at with your health, the Habits of Health system can give you a game plan for success. When I was playing football, they had a playbook, and everybody followed that playbook. And if they followed the playbook and they executed the plays, we typically won. Same thing goes with the Habits of Health system. Small, consistent changes creates lifetime of health. I'm going to share with you really quick another father-son duo story, and I'm going to just share with you just a real quick introduction. Scott Carnahan is a physical therapist. He actually owns a physical therapy clinic in Marshalltown, Iowa, and he has been a health professional for over 2 decades, and he's had some amazing success as a business owner. But his story, I think, will inspire you from a health professional standpoint, how even a health professional that knew everything was still struggling. Scott, welcome to the webinar.
Thanks, David. I think when I look at OPTAVIA as a tool, one of the things I had other health care professionals telling me was, you need to check this out. This is something that we've incorporated into our practice, and we've had great success with it. But I'm very skeptical, and I tend to be one who really looks at things very closely before I just jump in and follow the crowd, so to speak. So it took me a while. It took me several times of listening to the program. And finally, as I was evaluating, and I said, I'm having trouble getting people healthy that are overweight. And I don't know what to do for them. And there are some people who just we can't help because we can't get them moving well enough because of their weight. And they would ask us, well, what can I do? Well, eat less, move more. I can't move. What do I do? So I was really out of answers, and I was looking. And the more I started looking at my own personal health, I'd realized that, owning a business and being a physical therapist, I was getting people healthy, but I was ignoring my own health. And I'd put on 30 pounds with, just not even realizing it until I looked in the mirror and said, I need to try this program. So after a month of being on the program and dropping that 30 pounds without feeling like I'd even tried, I said, there's really something to this. And so fast forward to today, it just impresses me. The more people I coach, the longer I've been doing this, I feel very confident now addressing those people that have metabolic conditions. Yes, we can help you lose weight. We can help you get healthier. We can help you feel better than you've felt in decades. And also as a result of that, we see your orthopedic conditions that we've been working with in physical therapy get better as well. So from that standpoint, it's just been a blessing from a business standpoint as well as a personal standpoint. And my son Grant is going to be talking next, and I saw him transform his body, but it took him a period of 4 to 5 years. He did it the hard way. He did it the traditional, blood, sweat, and tears, trying to make a football team, trying to be a healthy, high-level athlete. And I knew in my condition, I wasn't going to be able to put the time and effort, energy in that he did, nor are most people that I met. So the beauty of this is you don't have to do those things to see the results. So thank you, Dave.
Great. Thanks so much for sharing, Scott. And now I'm going to turn it over to Grant, who's a personal trainer. He actually is working with people inside of a fitness facility, teaching them how to, improve their health and functionality and fitness level. And I'm going to have Grant tell you a little bit more about his story and how he's helping other people with this program. Grant, welcome to the webinar. Make sure you unmute yourself, Grant.
There we go. Yeah, thanks. So my story is obviously a little bit different than most. I obviously grew up with a dad who was a physical therapist, and so I knew from an early age what to do and how to eat and all of that thing. The difference is being in a football world, you don't always go about it the right way, and you don't always do it and live it. And it was one of those things where I had to learn the hard way. But I was actually presented with OPTAVIA when I was first starting my journey. And I decided it was something that at the time I didn't want to do, but looking back on it was something that I really wish that I would have considered then, because it would have saved me a whole lot of time and a whole lot of effort. Fast forward to today, I am doing some personal training, and I've been doing that in Des Moines, Iowa for about a year and a half. And I've been working with some clients where I saw them would lose weight, they gain weight back, and we're just kind of having that yo-yo effect of not really seeing the results. They come in and they do the right things, but weren't always eating the right stuff or doing the right things that had to be done. And so this was a way that I thought that I could be able to kind of reach out and to help people more in a realm that I just wasn't allowed to as a personal trainer. I just couldn't touch people in that way. And the great thing is with the clients that I do have that have been on this program, have seen more results with me in the last month or two than they saw with me training for an entire year. So it's been really eye-opening and really cool to see those people's lives change that I've already known previously for such a long time, and to, in just a short amount of time being on this program, see results that they hadn't in years before that. So.
Great. So thanks so much, Grant, for sharing that. And it's just fun to be able to see, people that have gotten healthier because of individual decisions that individuals make or individuals made. And so, I made a decision to get healthier, and I ended up paying it forward to a physical therapist, who then paid it forward to another physical therapist, and that physical therapist paid it forward to Scott Carnahan, who then paid it forward to his son, and now his son is helping other people to get healthier. And that's really how we're going to get America healthy. 310 million Americans out there need better health and well-being. And we're not going to do it individually through the healthcare system. It's going to take a community of people. And so OPTAVIA has a great community that's supporting individuals in a virtual environment and in a personal environment. We have weekly video calls and other kinds of support resources that individuals can leverage at the comfort of their own home. They don't have to go to meetings or go to individual events if they don't want to, but they can get together with other people in their community, virtually and personally. The fourth component of our program that really helps it make it simple for individuals to get healthier is we provide them with a simple low glycemic eating plan. We give them a 6-meal plan or a 6 fueling a day option where they can eat every 2 to 3 hours, so they're not starving. I know, being a 300-pounder, I like to eat. And when I saw the kind of quantities that I was eating, I was struggling. But when I knew that I had the opportunity to get another fueling in 2 to 3 hours, I was able to carry on. This was not a, constricted diet where I had to, not eat. I was basically eating protein carb balance. So I was getting satiety. I was getting that satisfaction because I was getting the right amount of nutrition, and I wasn't just manipulating the macronutrients in some fly-by-night diet or detox or exercise program that was short-lived. I was practicing science-based principles to teach me how to live a healthy lifestyle. And whatever meal plan that you choose, we have a variety of different meal plans to meet the dietary needs and the personal interest of anyone who wants to use our program, whether you're gluten intolerant or whether you are celiac or whether you have dairy issues. We have a meal plan that can fit your needs, and it's no more than what you spend on groceries. So anyone in any financial circumstance can typically do our program because they're basically just taking their grocery money or their food budget and investing a portion of that in the program. There's no coaching fees, or there's no consulting fees or program fees. It's just simply nutrition when you need it, and however much that you would like to have as a tool to help you to make healthy choices. Now, these next 2 stories are quite amazing, another father-son duo, and I'm going to start off with the son because in this particular case, it was another son who got healthy who then inspired his father. And Pete, you're up next. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, David. I appreciate the opportunity to share my story and my family's story. As I tell my clients, I'm still a work in progress and still learning and growing each day. But this time last year, I was over 300 pounds. I'm a school counselor here at a local school, and so I care for kids and work with kids and families every day. And through the course of my 13 years as a counselor, my focus was on other people's needs. And over the especially last few years, the weight just kept coming on. And I'm a former athlete. I actually coach football and track at school as well. And so the training aspect and the exercise aspect of things, I understood, but I obviously wasn't living it because my nutrition was out. A lot of my other habits were not in check. And as I was pouring into other people, I was not taking care of myself. And what I experienced last year about this time was just that realization of I need to change some things. My energy level was low. I'd get tired more often. I wasn't able to play with my son as much as I wanted to, not able to get things done around the house as much as I wanted to. And so I'm very thankful that Scott Carnahan stepped into the program. I've known Scott for years with being in education and a coach in this area, and Scott running his PT clinic in a local community. And so I saw a post that he had put out on Facebook about being a health coach. and I've known Scott for years, so I trusted the fact that I could reach out to him. And so we connected last summer. He shared the program. We talked through it, kind of got a game plan in place, and I made the commitment to step in. So in September, I stepped in over 300 pounds. By February, I hit my goal weight. I had lost 95 pounds. And I'm happy to say that since February, and for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm prepared to be able to live at this weight and stay at this weight comfortably, and enjoy life to the fullest with the habits that I've learned through the course of this program. And so that's a quick rundown of my story. In addition to the weight loss factor, the picture that you see there, the bottom picture of my family, my mom and dad, my wife and my son, was 2 weeks ago. I completed a 20K. And so it's something that I've done 3 times before, but this time with my nutrition being in check and my habits being in check, I was actually able to cut 25 minutes off my 20K time. I've been running the fastest I've ran in over 20 years. So it's been an awesome opportunity to not just improve with a weight standpoint, but just an overall mentality as far as what I feel and what I know I can accomplish. And then just having the energy and the drive to push myself to different levels, to better levels. So I was able to do that 2 weeks ago, and looking for the next goal, the next challenge up ahead, and just continuing to push myself that way. Some of the things I like about the program, it's simple. It's a structure. Those 4 components are easy to follow. I'm connected to a health coach, so as I had questions, I could reach out to Scott at any time. I had a great community surrounding me that I could ask questions, that I could build relationships and friendships with, that they're on different phases of their own journey. And so I was able to connect to that. And then the Fuelings were easy. I started the program in football season, so running around for practice and games and on the bus and at halftime and different things, I was able to still follow structure with the Fuelings that were provided. And so I found something that worked for me. I also like the educational component. Obviously, I'm in the schools. I feel like I've learned a lot over the course of the school year through this program. And like I said, I'm equipped to stay where I want to be as far as my health and my weight, because of the educational component with it and the webinars and the connections that we have with that. And it's lifelong. It's something that I know moving forward. I've learned the things that I need to know. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning and growing through the struggle, but I have confidence and I'm positive that I'm going to continue to move in the right direction. And so in December, I was posed with the opportunity to step into coaching. And honestly, the reason why I stepped into coaching was I hadn't said anything since I started in September. And then Thanksgiving rolled around and my parents saw me and started asking a bunch of questions, and some of my family members, some of my wife's family members started asking me. And so I stepped into coaching simply to help a few family members. And what has happened since December has been mind-blowing to me from my regard of just stepping out and putting myself out there. And people are searching. People are looking for something that's going to help them regain their health. And our program provides that in a very simple structure, a very supportive way. And so it's been an awesome blessing over the course of the last many months. I'm excited to look at and to watch the blessing grow as I continue to reach out now not only to family members, but I'm connected with many coworkers, many friends, and just watching them have success and celebrating those successes with them has been such an encouragement to my heart. And it's just been a great opportunity. But one of the biggest blessings is the guy that you're going to hear from next. Dad was skeptical at first. He watched me transform over the course of the fall and winter months. And when he made the decision to step into the program, there was still some skepticism, but I'll let him share his story. But he's such a blessing. He's given me so much in this life, and it's been such a blessing for me now to be able to partner with him and help him to regain his health. So I'll turn it over to him.
Great. Thanks so much, Pete. And you can tell that just all areas of your life have really kind of come full circle here. And now you've really been living that vibrant life. And I can't wait to hear from your dad. So Craig, welcome to the webinar. Let's hear a little bit more about your story and how your son influenced your decision to get healthier.
Hi, David. How are you? I'm kind of different from everybody that's posted here. I'm retirement age. I did retire back in November. Before I retired, I was in terrible shape, and I knew that I needed to change my lifestyle, lose some weight, get better. I'd struggled with type 2 diabetic for, probably 15 years. Everything was out of whack. I was taking blood pressure medicine. I was taking cholesterol medicine. I was doing stuff for my triglycerides, had sleep apnea, was set up with a CPAP machine. It was struggling, and I knew that I didn't want to be the fat guy with the suspenders holding his belly up to retire. I mean, I'd seen so many of them. So one evening we went to a football game, and as Pete had said, I was sitting in the stands, and he was supposed to be on the field, and I'm looking around on the field, and I'm not seeing him. I mean, we talk all the time, but I hadn't seen him for a little while. Finally seen him and went, holy smokes, what is he doing? And so at that point in time, we cornered him before we left the football game. Said, what are you doing? You've got to tell me about this. You look great. And we talked about it for a while, and he explained it to me, and I thought, I'm a little bit of a skeptic myself. Went online, looked at a bunch of stuff. All the stuff that you read online, it doesn't give you the full story. You need to talk to people. So Pete hooked me up with another coach that he knew that was same age as me. And then the journey began, and things have been really good since then. So he kicked me up with a man that's name is David Burrier, and he was a real blessing to me. In the meantime, we've become friends with him and my wife and his wife. We all get together. Seen him last Saturday. It was a great deal. But in the meantime, just changing my life made all the difference in the world with the changing in the eating habits and everything else. It was great. The community is super. It's unbelievable. If you've got any questions, there's everybody that's on the panel here, plus other people that I can talk to at any time. If I've got questions on my own, you've got somebody to talk to. You've always got inspiration. There's always people posting stuff. There's meals out there. Everything is available to you if you want to look for it. So we have got into doing this, and I immediately dropped some pounds. Shortly thereafter, well, first I talked to my doctor and then told her what I was going to do, and she was a little skeptical. But I had started on the OPTAVIA diet, and it worked very well, very easy to handle, easy to run. It's hard to make yourself at first eat 6 times a day. That was probably one of my most difficult things to do, and making sure that you drank plenty of water. My wife keeps track of that for me now, so that I make sure that I drink that. But my best moments have been how easy it was. My dietitian has told me that I should be her poster child for diabetic prevention. And the last time, about a month ago, I went to my doctor, and my doctor looked at my charts and said, holy smokes, what have you been doing? And I said, don't you remember I told you that I was going on this program to change my lifestyle? And she says, wow, it is working. And you can ask my wife, when I was done with my doctor, I literally skipped out of the doctor's office. I was so happy. At that point in time, I decided that with all the good luck that I'd had, there was a lot of people my age and older that were experiencing the same thing. I decided I wanted to be a coach. And after went through that, it was a little struggle to start with, but things are rolling really good now. It's nice. We've met a lot of great people. Gotten great support from the community, from OPTAVIA itself, from the dietitians and what have you. Everybody feels great. Everybody has got way more energy, sleep better. It's just amazing, the program and how great it is. And anybody that gets on it and sticks to it and trusts your coach to do what you're supposed to do, it's easy, it's simple. It's one of the greatest things that I've done. It's so good that my wife said that she had to be in on it too. So she is on it, and she's done well. We co-coach together, and it makes a great thing. We do a lot of couples, which is really nice to see couples working. So it's been really, really good for us, and I'm extremely happy. It's a great program.
Thanks so much, Craig. And, it's just the ripple effect continues on. So as you can see that, Craig has decided to become a coach. And you may be thinking, well, I don't want to coach people. That's the farthest thing from my mind. We totally understand that. You don't have to become a coach. There is an opportunity for those people who want to pay it forward. A percentage of our clients actually want to help other people to do it. And the reason why they do it is to reinforce their decision to be healthy. Health coaches are more oftentimes more successful with their health habits because they're in community with other people and they're encouraging others. You don't have to go through rigorous training, or you don't have to go back and get a degree in nutrition or exercise. You're simply just guiding people on a program that is helping them to learn the habits using Dr. A's system and the OPTAVIA program. There is an opportunity to earn a really good compensation for the work that you do. Number one, you get the currency of goodwill, which is just helping another person. And we find that a lot of our coaches like that significance. But there's also an opportunity to increase your financial means. And so if you are in a position where financially you're not as healthy as you'd like to be, OPTAVIA provides an opportunity, a vehicle to basically help you to help others around you. And it's not one of those things where you have to do more work than what you want to do. This is up to you to decide what you want to do. It's completely relational. You're not out there doing a bunch of selling. You're not out there in a position where you're pressuring people to buy things they don't need. You get the chance to choose who you work with. You work at whatever level you want to work with. There's no sales quotas. There's no monthly purchases required to stay on as a health coach. What we're all about is creating a business model that's very unique. That's unique in its kind. It's not out there that's duplicated in any way, shape, or form. We have a lot of similarities with some businesses, but we also have a lot of differences. And what we're providing to people is an opportunity to learn how to create health in their life and then to turn around and help the other generations and their family and their friends to do the exact same thing. We do all the training virtually. You have one-on-one mentoring. You don't have to go back to school. You can learn while you earn. You don't have to be in a position where you know everything. You just simply have to have a desire to help people and be coachable and teachable. Your business coach would help you to go through the process of learning how to coach other people if you choose to. And if you choose to be a health champion and just improve your health and refer other people to your coach, it's perfectly okay with us, because what we're about is not trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. We want to help you to create the life that you want to live and then help other people to do the exact same thing. You can search on our website to find the income disclosure statements that gives you the facts about the money that people earn for the work that they do. The reality of it is that this is a business opportunity that if you don't do much, you don't get paid much. But the reality of this business is it isn't a business opportunity, and you can get rewarded much for helping much. And with as many people unhealthy in this country and in this world that we need to help, there's a tremendous opportunity for those people that would like to go out there and help people to get healthy and to help those other people to help other people. So thanks for joining us tonight for this special Men's Health, special pre-Father's Day Trilogy webinar. If this has been enjoyable to you, we'd sure appreciate you getting back to the person that invited you and let them know what your best takeaways were. And if you know somebody else that may be struggling with their health that you think this would benefit, we'd really appreciate that you share this link with the person and introduce them to the person that introduced you or invited you to this presentation. Thanks everybody for your time, and we wish you all the very best in health and well-being. Thanks everybody.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.